To every woman looking for the fruit of the womb, this is me saying, may God give you answers to your prayer, because believe me, you see, this past few years of my life actually made me understand what TTC moms are passing through. So let's continue with my story. So by late 2023, something changed. He started nagging over things that didn't make sense. He picked fight over the tiniest issue. He turned the house into a battlefield. I couldn't recognize this man anymore. Then petty complaints started. If I wore his slippers to step out, he would complain. If he touched the powdered milk on the fridge and noticed it had reduced, my ears won't hear what I do. If he came home from work and spotted any tiny speck of dust on the table or standing fan, my ears would burst. If he bought bread and my daughter and I ate from it, he would call my mother to report. This is a man that rarely even drinks tea. If I forgot to iron his clothes when NEPA brought light, wahala would start. Everything became a reason to complain. Everything became a reason to nag. Communication broke down, believe me. I tried to talk to him, but it was as if I was talking to a brick wall. My words fell on deaf ears. My house no longer felt like home. It was as if darkness had taken over. But I kept praying. I begged God, please change his heart. Please restore peace in my home. But instead of peace, things got worse. His new favorite phrase became, leave my house. Leave my house. Any small misunderstanding, the next thing out of his mouth would be, leave my house. It became his anthem. I started wondering, is this the man I married? Is this the same man I suffered with? So one day, around August or September 2023, we had a serious misunderstanding because of his alleged side chick, a female soldier serving in the same barrack. A story for now, this particular misunderstanding was so bad that it drew the attention of neighbors. And in the heat of that moment, in front of my neighbors, Blessing and Ola, he said something to my hearing. And guess what he said? I am giving her 4 months. If she doesn't get pregnant by then, I will kick her out. I was shocked. I was speechless. I stood there frozen. 4 months. So all my words as a woman, all my sacrifices and meant nothing to him just because I haven't conceived. This is the same man I have a child with. Neighbors were staring at me. Some were whispering, some shook their heads in pity. I never felt so humiliated in my life. But guess what? I still begged. After all the disgrace, all this humiliation, na me still kneel down, na me still cry, na me still beg for peace to reign. I wiped my tears, knelt down before him, and with a broken voice, I whispered, please, let's not fight again. Please, let's fix this. But deep down, I knew I was begging for a man who no longer values me. I knew I was fighting for a marriage that was already broken. I knew I was holding on to someone who had already let me go. But I still begged, because at the end of the day, I was just a woman who wanted her home in one piece. I was just a woman who wanted her home to be okay. See you in my next video.